To another edition here of the Trade Circle Thursday, live trading Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. And I'm your host, Gerardo G. Money Pies. We may have some other hosts as well. See, you want to chime in. Yeah, today is kind of like a trade lounge, casual Thursday. Before we prepare for Friday. Friday is NFP, so it will cause some, some more additional volume this first week of April. But as always, right, the Trade Circle is an educational platform. Any trade idea or suggestion or speculation, it is pure, it is that. So just make sure to trade it responsibly. Don't over leverage just because I provide a signal on it, because sometimes they don't work, right. Profitability comes sometimes profitability comes from proper risk management and managing your emotions. And speaking of emotions, right? So I actually got the sell from up here, 31.62. And I wasn't looking at the charts. I just heard my alarm beep and what do you call? Heard my alarm beep and like, you know what? I said I was gonna go the weekly range. I'm gonna put a sell on there. I was playing with my son in his little soccer room, and again, right, my mindset was not ready to hold drawdown. Right, my mindset was not ready to hold drawdown. So it's hard to manage a trade. So I go, right, you know what? I'm gonna put my stop loss at break even. I think I got it at 31.62, and this little wick right here at 31.62 and some change took me out. But I was actually looking at the charts when it took me out, so I technically could have got back in, right? But again, though, it's just your mindset has to be ready for drawdown. Your mindset has to be ready for profits. Your mindset has to be ready to hold, to take the trade, right? As a trader, right? As an investor is different, but me as a trader. So because I trade mainly during the London session, we're talking about this is at 6, 7 p.m. My time. Okay. And look at this. You have seen the Terminator movie, when he tries to smile, that's kind of me right now on the inside. So but yeah, it happens, guys. It happens, right? But again, though, I always tell myself, gee, you can always find a trade the next day, right? You can always find a trade, during this time. This is where you're operating from. This would be just kind of like bonus money for that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So as of now, y'all, gold is still bearish. I did like your chart on the 8 hour, I believe. You wanted this one down here, this rally-based rally. We got the momentum. The
Yep.
intraday, the structure box is still bearish. I mean, it's hard to look for sales on it. Let me just check.
And I put it on the daily and found that the 17 box is right where
All right, 1 second. I think I
on a
think I
daily. It's that 17 box line. It's just perfectly lined
on
up
the
for
17, perfect, right there.
yeah, which is right at a support and resistance level. So
Perfect.
that's
So
why
right.
I started looking for some interest.
Okay, perfect. So that's the daily 17, 50%, right?
There's enough momentum to get there at the moment.
Yes, there is. And then how many pips is there? That's the next question as well. And again, guys, right? The whole thing about trading is right. That makes it easier for me is like, where is price going to go? And do we have a story to take it there, right? Do we have a story? Do we have momentum to take him there? And I do like this area, Dan. Right here, this touches the support and resistance. This, okay. And then if I drop down to the 4 hour chart, here goes our bullish structure on the 4 hour. Nice bullish structure. We're also here. I mean, we completed that Elliott wave. Remember, guys, we completed the Elliott wave that we were talking about right here. We have the impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the final turn, the XABC correction, doesn't always have to be there's like I was listening to some audio one time about the Elliott wave, and there's like supposedly like there's 21 types of corrections. Like that's a lot. I'm not gonna remember all of them right now, but we have an impulse, we have a correction, we have an impulse, and we're forming that harmonic dad right there.
Yep.
Okay. So we're in a striking zone to position ourselves for the long, but I think there's just too much force right now to call it right because the selling pressure is strong. Um, so we did touch the 30-minute rally based rally that we had marked up from Sunday's class. Let me actually quickly go there and then we'll come back to it here. So Sunday's class, when we speculated with Marcus, where is it at? Right here. Okay. When the week opened up, right? When the week opened up, come on now. Yes. Okay. So you see, I got the previous weekly high, previous weekly low, all marked up. We wanted a price to come back to the 23% and then go up when the week opened, but it went in reverse, right? It went down, excuse me, it went up first, hit the extensions, and then it came crashing down. So there's a lot more momentum. Think about it like this. Think about whenever, well, I think it doesn't matter because gravity is the same, right? But the higher something goes, uh, the bigger the splash. So I don't think that this will hold because there's a lot of force coming from those prices from the top side. So I think we do get a little bit lower. We got this bounce here because we're also at the 23.38% of the previous week. So maybe we can go to that 50%. Alrighty. So let's just see. We have a story that can help us get there. On the 5 minute time frame, you know, this is kind of where this box system is going to help guys, because again, looking left right now is the time to buy. But the momentum, remember this 5 minute box system is saying no way, slow down, right? I did put a little buy here because it was just but I got 180 pips off of it. I closed that. I had two entries. One I closed at 90 pips. The other one I was 180 pips in profit, and I broke even at 90 pips. So basically, I got two entries at 90 pips and was done with it. But again, I got it from here to there, and they came back down. But the box system on the 5 minute says to stay bearish. Okay, says to stay bearish, wait for a pullback, and then maybe continue it lower to Dan's daily 17.50%. It's just a matter kind of where do we enter, which we'll review right now. So tell me, why did I buy there? Well, just because that area this was a 30-minute rally based rally right here. You see, right here. So I knew it's an equilibrium zone, and we were gonna get a reaction. Okay, we're gonna get a bullish reaction or a bullish splash, and it was just kind of like an instinct thing where like we look at these ETN candles all the time that happens. You see it, it's there. As far as like confirmation, there really isn't there other than your stop loss being at this low. And actually got stopped out. If it would have, it went below the rally there, and but still it was an 80 pip stop loss. But it was just kind of more like, okay, let me find it. 30-minute time frame, Sonan. Let's see. You like it up here?
No, that's the one, yeah.
Okay.
Right here, man. At I think it's 30.75. I actually just sold the market and came up. I just took like 50, 60 people and I came up. Like, I need a deeper retracement, man, in order to get bring it lower, you know what I mean?
But you're liking this drop right here, right?
Yeah, I was actually at 30.96. And bro,
Okay.
because all the stuff that happened last night, I closed the trade out. I literally like just took some profit and I closed the trade out. As soon as I closed, it fall. Remember I was telling you this morning, man.
You can't put those Lambo lots in there, man. You move the market.
Trust me, man, it's just crazy.
Yeah, let's see here. We also have the midpoint of the 52 waiting right there. So yeah, let me see what else we can speculate here. So again, right, what is we're working with these rules that Dan shared yesterday, right? I didn't save them, Dan, but I remember them. Okay, so this is the SMT NYSE. Okay, so this is basically like during this time using the box system. Okay, so we start from the 5 minute chart and we basically look at structure. Okay, we look at structure. What structure do we currently see here? Well, we have it marked up, right? We have bearish structure. We first find the highest point, and then we find the lowest point, and then from there we look at the lower low structure. Alrighty, we look at the lower low structure. Well, thanks, Dan. 5 minute structure one, and then okay, perfect. Let me just Dan just share those notes here for you guys. Let me save them too. All right, there it is. Save it. And I wouldn't say it's a strategy. I would say more like a markup, but still, SMT NYC markup. Okay.
Well,
But our
actually, it's like a plan too, if you think
yeah,
about it.
because obviously our way to enter every market is kind of it always goes back to the 1, 2, 3 strategy, right?
Right.
So this is the SMT NYSC markup. Okay. But it's still the same thing. Strategy, plan, you know, whatever we can understand best. So we go to the 5 minute chart. The frame is telling us the price action inside of it. Okay. And we currently do have bearish structure. Like I mentioned to you, we find the highest point, the highest wick, and we find the lowest wick. This wick right here has been adjusted because price is still falling down. All right. And then we got bearish structure. So perfect. That's a good setup. Okay. Check. Now we go to the 1 hour time frame, and now we're going to look for the same thing and also study the midpoints. So we go to the 1 hour time frame. How do we look here in the 1 hour time frame with those boxes? Let's see, the indicator here. There it is. And how do we look? Well, same thing. Find the lowest point, find the highest point, and then kind of just draw some structure. Okay. And that's kind of where we're at right here. Okay. So we are below the current candlesticks, is below the midpoint there and these two midpoints. So we are slightly in bearish territory. But the pullback can be pretty strong, right? Because of the higher time frame area that we're in. Okay. The higher time frame area that we're in. So based on the structure, momentum, timing on a 5 minute execution, right? We're waiting for the pullback. So this is the impulse, this is the correction, and then we're waiting for a pullback to take us back down. Okay. I mentioned to you guys, I got in here, I'm already out, but there was going to be a reaction. But for consistency purposes, right, on a 5 minute chart, the buy was not ready. Okay. The only confirmation that we had to buy here is that area there that we were in, we were at a lower low. Okay. So remember, the whole purpose of this box system is not to get ahead, always look at structure, okay, and just kind of keep us on check, keep us on frame, and looking for the same thing, okay. So, but again, though, if you see things on a higher time frame, right, they can be taken, but they're not part of the system, okay. So let's see here. Nice, Paul. Um, okay, so we're approaching so again, we're near the previous weekly high. We're near the previous weekly high. Back retesting it. We're also retesting the midpoint of this area. And time frames here. But now, okay, back to the strategy here. So 1 hour, we can kind of see what price is doing. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the look for ETM candles or the potential 1, 2, 3 strategy in this frame. Okay, let me do this first. I am gonna fib this entire 1 hour from low to high. Okay, just so I won't lose track of the percentages. All right, and then I'm going to hide indicators. Okay, and I'm going to solely focus here on this drop here. Okay, let me look for those ETM candlesticks. Nice pull. Sí se gana, man. Okay, the 8 hour chart has a huge engulfing candle, right? That needs some balance. Okay, if we were just to look at this 12 hour candlestick, right? Right here, where could the pullback go to? Okay, at least, well, see, 23% is obviously a strong scenario, but we can go towards 38%, which is around 3092. I can go to 50%, which is 3101 or 3100. So that area is in interest right here. 3092. Let me go ahead and erase that. Go to the 4 hour chart.
Isn't that where the 30 minutes base drop is
I'm pretty sure it is, man. Let me see.
It is. And there's also this I think there's a 1 hour base drop right there also and a 15 minutes. So there's like three TM candles there.
Okay.
Because I set my alert there. So as soon as you get up there, I'm hitting it.
All right, so I'll keep this fib here just for our purposes here. So here goes the 8 hour candlestick from high to low. And as we drop it down, these levels of percentages stay the same. Okay. Let me scoot this to the right a little bit. Okay. And then 3 hour time frame, still not too much there. 2 hour. I mean, we have this one up here, which obviously we don't want it to go that high. Let's see. So now we're basically looking for those ETM candlesticks. Oof. How low did you get in there, Alex?
3066. It was stupid. I had on my chart going down to that 4 hour demand zone or that 1 hour demand zone at 3050. And I took some profits and then it retraced a little. And so I re-entered, but I FOMO'd it. I know I made a mistake and FOMO'd it. So now I'm just wondering, maybe I just cut my losses. It's a 0.01 lot size, nothing crazy.
Yeah, we're in an area where we're looking at potential price to turn. But again, Lorraine, this could, we don't want it to go up here to 3120. But let me see, we're looking at these zones right here. So that's the 2 hour. 1 hour is there. 45 minutes. We're looking for ETMs. I'm looking for supply candlesticks, right? Supply candlesticks on this. Bring the fib over here.
See, I thought on the 1 hour, well, that's way too high. It's already 3092, that drop base drop. So
yes,
I might just cut it.
3092 is kind of it is the area of interest. Here. Is there so not I didn't go into much detail on the news. I'll check here shortly too. Thanks for that. It's also a 20-minute one. I actually like this 15-minute one right here.
See, what I thought was going to happen is we were going to retrace on my fib up to my next support line and then drop back down to 3050. But that move was so big this morning. Maybe that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, we did get a strong drop, right? So sometimes it needs that correction, and we were in an area of demand. Okay. Just to see, yeah, we're coming into the potential entry, but again, this thing can do what it wants. 0.01 is not too bad though, but it multiplies pretty quickly, Alex, on gold. I'll tell you that. But smart move on you that you're not writing a dot 10, man.
No,
You
exactly. Well, and that's why when I did it, anytime I'm not like very confident, I just do a point oh 0.01. But oh well, yeah, I'm just cutting my losses. Thanks though. Sorry everybody for taking the
Oh
extra
no,
time.
no, man. This is Thursday
Oh,
lounge day, man. Thursday lounge day is open like this, and
I'm
you're
glad you
into it.
mentioned that, Alex, because I did exactly the same thing. Don't feel bad. It happened to me too. I was expecting a similar move that you were looking for, and but I had a point zero 0.03. Ouch.
Oh yeah, that one multiplies times three. Very quick on this one. So what's it called? Tommy. Okay, see how we form here a drop base drop, and obviously drop base drops means to go for a sell. But sometimes, right, if the drop base drop, we have to be familiar where these drop base drops are forming. Okay, so if we have a trend like this, right? Okay, we want the drop base drop to form kind of in the middle. So when price comes back to it, we can sell. Okay. However, when we have a trend like this again, and then the drop base drop forms very near a lower low, I'm actually coloring it wrong. It's a high probability that it won't hold, right? Because it's too low of an area. So that's why structure is king, guys. We have to find a way to know how to read that structure. That's why through all the years of experience that I have, I only teach this. Learn how to read structure. Learn how to read structure. Because I didn't learn how to read structure until my third year, right? I was being taught liquidity. I was being taught manipulation. I was being taught equal lows, and I never saw structure. And structure is basically the momentum. Structure is the trend, right? Now the trend has different phases and different time frames, but if you can see a structure, we can always enter at the same area. Okay. You find your high, you find your low, you wait for the retracement, and you sell from there. You find your high, you find your low, you wait for the retracement, and you sell from there. So it's the same thing over and over again. So right here, it's what we have here on the 5-minute chart, right? Let's see as everything turns back on. Here's a little structure that we see. All righty. We have what time frame candle was this? 12-hour, 8-hour, I believe, candlestick, which we're right there. We're retesting back the previous weekly high, and we are in an area to execute. Let me just find some additional confirmation if I can. Oh yeah, and there goes the rules for that. Okay, so yeah, save that to your notes. We'll add some more details here as we go along, but that is the analysis for that 20-minute. Let me check the Saxo chart. Sometimes the Saxo chart can give us a bit more different information. Other than I think I like that 15, guys. I do. That 15 is maybe that 15 or the 10. I like this one right here. This is a 10-minute chart with gold. I like this one right there. 10-minute BEC. Okay, I like this one. We have a nice BEC. Also, if you fib that candlestick by itself, the actual engulfing candlestick, we'll put in here our 50% fair value gap scenarios. And actually, based on this, it did hit. It did. This wick touch 50% of it, but I believe others can also mark up and balance like that. And then there goes the potential entry. You use the box here, right, Dan?
Yeah, I use the
This
box, and I also put the midpoint on the box because I always find that the A equals to some fair value gap. So if you put the midline on your ETM box, exactly like a fair value gap, and it's
there it is, guys. So it's a 10-minute BEC fair value gap setup right here. Alrighty. Right there. Okay. Fills in there. And this potential setup will put us at an entry, give or take, at just above, a few cents above 3,100. Stop loss above that wick. The stop loss is it's pretty, it's we're in a 5-minute chart. It's a 130 pip stop loss. So you need to be a little more careful. Okay. And then we'll take it back to the lows. All right, so I'll give you guys a little tip right here, guys. Okay, so see, the stop loss is huge, over 100 pips. So what do you do in this scenario? Well, I personally let price get to here. And then once I see the reaction, then I see a candlestick that I like. I put my stop loss above that candlestick. And then my entry to stop loss is much shorter. Okay, try to get under 50 pips. All righty.
so if that's going to turn around, we might be looking for like a evening star type pattern or a golfing candlestick, and then you can even fib that one candlestick and take the.
There it is, Dan. Absolutely. Key level 3,100. Yep. And again,
You
go. I see. Go ahead.
you don't put the price in there?
The price on this one, just 3,100, 3,100 will be the price. Cyrus.
Right there, 31.
Yeah. No, 9 o'clock news, right, guys? Let's see. See, I like when the market moves. See, the market, it's better flow for me. 9 a.m. Yep, 9 a.m.
I
5 minutes.
actually executed the entry that I told you about, and then I remember news, so I just closed the entry because I'm like, bro, I'm not taking no chances right now.
Yeah, no, it's just. I mean, if we missed it, we missed it, man. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I executed just now, but when I say 6 minutes to use, I'm like, I'm already in profit for the day on my life, so I'm like, I'm not taking no chances.
Yeah, good, smart man. All those losses are finally getting to your subconscious, man. And sometimes, guys, that's basically it is. Like I heard it in two different ways, right? I heard it in two different ways, right? I mean, it's safe to say, right, that we as humans can be a little bit stubborn in our own way, right? And that's why I love trading, because the market trading is one of the quickest way to check to level us out, right? You win one trade and you think you're on top of the world. The next thing you know, you try to approach the market, and it just it disciplines us. But I heard it two ways, right? Either all the losses that we take at some point, it's like paying tuition, right? It's paying tuition. It's our tuition, or it's the business. It's operating costs, right? To run a business until we figure it out. That's one way. The other way is just like, when are we going to get tired of giving money back? When are we going to get tired of not using our stop losses, or taking too much risk? And once we get enough of those jabs back at us, then we start being a little bit more mature with the market in our own way, right? Because we all have our tendencies differently, and yeah, so just let's just win. Let's not challenge the market because it does not care about us, to be honest. Always flows. Um, if we can get that nice spike up there, I like it. If not, we'll find some confirmation here, guys, to try to take it back up. Okay. Here, let me see. I'll put an alarm here. So we touched the 50% of the actual 52. So all right, I got 3 minutes, guys. Let me quickly check just
I think
other.
we get our confirmation, G. Put your
Go for it.
52 bucks. Yeah, 50, the 50 of the 2 bucks. Yep. That's kind of our confirmation that it definitely hit that for retracement and then the turnaround. If you're playing the box system, that's exactly what we're talking about. When
Yeah, the
it's
box system, that's the entry, right, Dan?
that would have been the entry and then the take profit at the high,
At the low.
at the low rather. Thank you. Stop loss. So, and actually your stop loss now can go to where that fair value gap is because price may come back and go test that zone. And then what's
Yep.
your stop loss area now?
We're still a 1 to 3, a little bit lower.
Now the measurement.
I mean, it's still $12, but
Still 12 bucks.
yeah. But even still, right?
It's under 15 though.
Yeah, if we would have gotten
120.
that 50% entry, Dan, right? And we just wait for a
Yeah.
few candlesticks, like for example,
Yeah.
like that candlestick. Now we then just put our stop loss at that high, but we're so close to
Yeah.
news that it's just better just to kind of wait a little bit. I think
I'm gonna wait after news.
I think this 2 minute rally base rally, we can get it engulfed. We also have a nice bearish harmonic there.
Beautiful bearish harmonic
But
check.
yeah, I'm waiting for 2 more minutes, guys. Okay. Ideally, that's that. Let me see what else everything else is doing. I got about a minute and a half. I was looking at the DXY earlier. I mean, we're in an area where it's filling in this weekly candlestick. It's also a break of structure candle. So we could get a reaction, but I think it's trying to get to this weekly rally-based rally that it never touched. So I'm thinking that today we kind of end with the pullback, okay, which is strong dollar to then take us back down, right? This will be a strong dollar. And then tomorrow, NFP, I think we bring it back down. That's just my speculation at a glance when it comes to this DXY. Okay. And yeah, just this little simple pullback can be the momentum for today. Okay. The Euro USDs from yesterday, guys, and the GU never came to our entry, but they just flew. This is the setup that we had yesterday from the 10-minute chart, guys. Look at this. But it's crazy, right? It went up, spiked up, and it came right to this 10-minute rally-based rally. And this thing went a whopping 300 pips. All right, escape time. Our news is in. Everybody off your phones. And let's see what these charts give to us. And we mentioned that all the time, right? The whole purpose of trading is where can we get in where the next few seconds later we're in blue, right? That's kind of where we're trying to time the market. And obviously to get to that point, we just have to be a little bit patient and wait for that move to give us the confirmation. So I am gonna put an alarm just below this price action So if it doesn't get up there, we'll get one more push down, and it tells me it's ready. Okay, so I got an alarm here. I'm waiting. I'm not buying it, right? I'm waiting for price to get up here to sell. Okay, that's what I'm waiting for. And if it doesn't get up there, what happened would be we trigger this alarm, and then this will be the impulse. And what happens after the impulse? Wait for retracement, and then we execute, and then we take it down. Okay.
That actually plays out like our harmonic, our entry levels at this point, and then we got our first take profit. And
Yep.
there.
Actually, let me with that note down, let me check the sessions right quick. Sessions.
Wow. Coming up on 50% of the London session and the
See,
bottom.
also, this is why I love this indicator, because it gives us a good view. Okay. Remember, we're always looking for support and resistance, those floors and those ceilings. And what are those floors and those ceilings? Previous daily lows and highs, previous weekly lows and highs, and also the 50% and the low of Asia and the high of Asia. So just looking at this today, oh my goodness, look at all this. That thing is red. Okay. Here is 50% of London, but also here goes the low of Wednesday. And also here goes the low of Tuesday, right here, right at this level. So that's a good area for us to consider. So that's a potential good break and retest, right? Let's see how this is going. All right, it's coming to an entry. If you have a sell limit, it'll probably trigger you. I'm also liking this 1 hour. I will probably put some positions there. Hold on. 2 seconds. So we would like for it to hit the little purple line right there. Okay, because that's the fair value discount.
For sure tested the zone, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It acts just like a regular ETM strategy. You either take it at the top or the bottom.
But again, this shows guys how price likes to balance itself out, guys. I mean, just looking at the high drawings, remember the system. There goes 50% of the last 17 hours, right? We broke it, and now we're trying to rebalance it there. We do have a 5-minute drop base drop, and also the 10-minute section that we just drew upon.
And with the addition of it's interesting, the other two 17 and 52 lines are below the midpoint, and they're still in the 204, 52, and 17 alignment, which means they're going to act like that rubber band and pull the market back to us, if I'm not mistaken.
No, yeah. The only concerning thing about this is that in a few minutes, right, the smaller box, okay, if it doesn't get a selling reaction there, it will be in a bullish order, right? And then there's a backup plan to that, meaning that if the edge of the blue box gets to this point right here, right, that means that the lows are starting to pump up. But if we're in this bullish order and price does not push price up, then basically it's gonna sell. It's kind of like a little divergence type of way to read it. Um, so it's coming to entry, y'all. Come on, alarm right there at 50%. If you have a MetaTrader 5, I believe you can actually there is a you can put it in there as a 10-minute chart. All right, we're in there.
¿Tenías un sell limit? No, no.
Aquí, Paul,
Sí, no.
aquí en esta área sí.
Ah, tienes sell limit.
Sí,
Vale.
sí, sí. Estamos esperando que toque
Se
la
acti-
pero está hay mucho
se acti-
impulso.
Sí,
¿Dice se activó algo de FIBO o el limit?
el limit.
Sí, sí, sí. The next best entry is here, guys, at 31, 10, 11. That'll be that'll be the 50% of that. Okay.
Especially now that the gap's been filled at some point. Like I said, it came all the way to the section.
Okay. I am going to put an alarm right there at this 50. I do have a tester entry there, guys, but again, look, don't over leverage it too much. Just be mindful. And I have another setup right there at 31, 10, 11-ish. If the alarm hits there, I like it. Okay.
Yeah, weird base drop right there, anyways, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Or at your midpoint.
And what is this, a 2 hour? Let me see that 2 hour chart. Yeah, the 2 hour base drop up there.
Gee, right where is I think that was the low yesterday.
That
It's
was
been
what? I'm
like
sorry.
bouncing. That was like the support of yesterday. Where is that right now? 106. It's been bouncing there like
Okay.
from I think it's like 2, 3 days now. That's probably just breaking retest to see what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Then my
Again,
alerts
guys,
are going.
we're in a good area. So I mean, here's the thing, right? As we always say, right? We can't control what this market's going to do, right? But the most important thing, right, is we were being patient for price to get up there. Okay. There was a lot of pit movement right here. Could have, if we would have stuck to our guns on this 30-minute rally, I mean, we would have been deep in profit, or more importantly, maybe the 4 hour one, right? Let's see. Yeah, I believe this 4 hour one right here. If I get the entire there it touched it. Now that would have been, obviously it's a great entry, but we're looking for consistency every day, right? We're looking for a routine every day, and all strategies work, and all strategies fail. Okay, but the only thing that we have control of is our risk management and our setups. So based on what we have here, right? We were being patient. We marked it up. We did the NYC markup thing, and we are selling high based on this scenario. Selling high means less pips, and therefore, we're more in control of our drawdown versus if we sold too low, right? So now instead of being in drawdown, $40, which is still a lot. Even up here is still a lot, which is 12. But the volatility of gold is so strong that I mean, we have the right lot size. It won't affect us too much. We can do something about it. But yeah, these areas here is very good. At the same one, Dan. 10, 5. All right, we are at the final scenario for entry. Okay. And it's going to be this 5-minute BC. Let me drop base drop, excuse me. Which is also very near this 2-hour. Okay. Right there.
What's interesting is that line of support and resistance now that's being tested in your trend line there at the top is being tested. We're probably going to see the wick through, and that's what, we'll see. Breaks it more than 3 times with the body of a candlestick, then it's going to change direction and go back to your 3160.
Let me mark this up here on my phone. I got an alarm right there, guys, just in case it goes a little bit higher. We'll come back and monitor. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candlesticks. Okay. These 6 here, we need to get a reaction down to really have that selling pressure with us. But if in 30 minutes we don't get a push down, this thing is going to turn into a bullish scenario. But we are in an area of equilibrium on this 5-minute frame. So it is, it is for me, I am still looking for a sell on this scenario. Just based on the structure. All right. Let me quickly check something else and then we'll be right back.
So in volatility in the market, the trading view is freezing up.
No, man. All right. GBP also went skyrocketed as well. It didn't come to an entry, but that one flowed pretty well. All right, so we'll take the same approach, right? As we did yesterday. I mean, excuse me, we did with gold. Okay. Let's worry about what's in the frame. Okay, and then the frame is still we do have the lowest point of GU. I believe they're pretty equal. That's fine. There goes the highest point. The structure is a little bit different compared to gold, right? It's just minor structure here and there. But could it try to balance out to this 50% before it continues going upwards? All right, so right now I believe if we get back above the midpoint, it's gonna take off. But if not, it'll come to the midpoint here, and then we can get something like that. It'll go up there. Intraday or now New York session, is it worth selling or considering a sell to there? 60 pips, so there is space to the downside. Let's check the 1 hour time frame, and then let's kind of see what we got. Here goes the midpoint again of that area. And then we'll also look for some ETM candlesticks, they're all right there. Okay. Oh my goodness, this thing is just pumping up. Let me draw it. I try not to look at gold right now because so 2 hour rally, base rally. So we have this 30-minute zone right here for GBP USD. Yeah, those are the zones that I would favor. Down, up, or down, up. Let's put everything back on, and there it is. Lines up pretty well. Lines up pretty well. Okay, for GBP USD. Mhm. This one is interesting. At a quick glance on the 4 hour chart for USD JPY, we actually completed a lower low, guys, right here. Okay, so we're at a lower low territory. We can take out this 2 dots, and where's the highest point? The highest point is there. Okay, that's fine right here. Okay, so we're at a lower low. Let me fib from this high to this low. And then kind of get an idea of where are the extensions for this. And we touched that negative 18%. So we could get us a pretty strong bounce for GBP USD JPY, okay, to just kind of, end with the pullback today. All right, so let's just go first to the 5-minute chart, okay, and see if we have a story for us to take it. So as of right now, okay, the trend line on the 5-minute is like this. Okay, so for us to even consider any buys, we would have to make a shift. Price would have to come in, touch the trend line, do a little break and retest, and then we can take it up. But other than that, if we're looking for sales, right, we let price come back towards maybe the midpoint, and then find our opportunity. But here's the thing, right? Between now and the midpoint, it's about 148 pips. So it's just a matter of if we can catch it right, and the momentum starts to shift a little bit, we can. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. I do not prefer it today.
I opted out of looking at UJ2 today.
Say it again.
I said I opted out of looking at UJ today as well.
Gotcha. The Bitcoin, it pushed up yesterday in the direction that we wanted to, and the moment it reached that high, it just splashed down. Um, let's check it out here. Yeah, this midpoint line on the 4 hour is keeping price bearish. So I'm liking this. I think this was interesting. I don't correlate the dollar too much with the Bitcoin, but Bitcoin dropping, obviously Bitcoin USD, that means that could be a strong dollar. So that's what's interesting right now about this. But I don't think they correlate the same. But now I do see Bitcoin going to the downside. Okay. Bitcoin going to the downside. I believe we have structure. We do have very nice structure here inside the frame for Bitcoin. And FYI, guys, I am holding drawdown on gold right now. So I'm just trying not to stare at it too much because, human emotions kick in. I got an entry at 3109 and 3102. And just waiting. So we have nice structure here. Okay. To the downside, we made a lower low. Okay. What comes next? Next after lower low, a pullback. So I would like to see maybe a pullback here to the downside. Okay. Let's quickly check the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we're below the midpoint. The momentum looks very nice to the downside. And now let's look for some ETM candlesticks in this drop here. For the Bitcoin USD. I like this flip zone. It is a 2 hour flip zone.
¿No habrá rally alcista de Bitcoin?
Uh, para el día de hoy, Paul, o nomás,
No, para los próximos meses.
a mí me gustaría que baje un poquito más, casi a 70,000. Y ya ahí,
Ajá,
Paul, ahí se compra y se aguanta
vale.
ahí. Te enseño ahorita por el holograma.
Eso,
Pero sí, 70,000.
perfecto.
Yeah, 70,000, guys. Remember, just around that
Ujú.
70,000 mark is the area that we were looking at for Bitcoin to start rallying back up.
It's like that chapter 90, 30, 50 million is a shooter, bro. Me have to see it. If I see that 30, 50, I'm not considered going back free by.
Say it again, Tony, because you're breaking up a little bit, man.
Expenses, I go to market to the because I don't know how to go.
Yeah, it was coming choppy, man. I don't know what's the audio echo or something. Just I couldn't really hear you.
Really, actually, prices go right, but I can't sell anything like that. You know what I mean?
All right. I like these areas. I believe.
The gold is not a bitch, bro. You don't convince me. I don't like the gold is not a bitch. Gold is a nice look, not a
No. Yeah, on the weekly scale here for Bitcoin, yeah, I think we can kind of fill in this weekly candlestick. That'd be ideal. Okay. Entonces, si por aquí más o menos, mira, esta zona de aquí sería la ideal para arriba.
Sí, perfecto. ¿Qué es en 4? Ah, no, en
Weekly,
weekly.
en weekly.
Sí, sí, yo también lo miro mucho en weekly.
Sí, esa es la única manera de verlo mejor. Pero intraday ahí se puede, pero va a tener más cuidado. All right, guys. So yeah, this one went up way higher than I wanted to. Unfortunately, the gold setup here. This 4 hour, 30-minute area was the zone to kind of just stay in. There was what do you call um the structure and everything that we have, it was lining up to wait for a sell. So I mean, this thing just very aggressive to as a pullback for now. Okay, and I think the other one, where was the other section that I the last okay, the last hope that this has that could potentially get a resistance is this point right here. Right here. If we fib this entire candle, okay, it's gonna break and retest right here at the 23%. Okay. That's the last area that gold could have to find some resistance. On the 1 hour chart, obviously these were the entries. We did had a 30-minute rally-based rally, and I believe a 4 hour rally-based rally, depending on the time frame that we had. And the confirmations on lower time frame weren't always there, but you know, it was a higher time frame move that worked out pretty well from the 61.8% of the entire swing. We are getting near that 23%. And we also have some few drop-based drops out there. But yeah, once if we do pass this 23% line, these drop-based drops are just going to slow price down a little bit and continue up. So this is the last area of resort for gold right there at this 23% line. Okay. And let me just check the sessions to see what that is. It's just shy of the low of Asia. Okay, the low of Asia. So
Si pasa el low, iríamos a buscar el equilibrio de Asia.
una vez más, Paul.
Digo que si pasa este low de Asia, iríamos a buscar el equilibrio de 50% of Asia,
Del día de hoy.
¿no?
Sí, ¿verdad? El día de
Sí,
hoy.
si
El de hoy.
pasa este mínimo.
Sí, sí, sí. Este de aquí. Yep. Dices este mínimo de aquí, ¿verdad, Paul? De aquí, mero.
Sí, ahora tocó el mínimo de Asia.
Okay.
Si,
Okay.
si no lo pasa, iríamos a buscar el equilibrio, el 50.
Muy bien. ¿A qué horas tú qué horas cierras tú Asia? ¿Qué lo cierras tú?
A las 8 de Barcelona.
Ok, yo lo cierro a la
7 horas
medianoche.
menos. En
Lo cierra-
Chicago.
Ok. Entonces a la 1 lo cierras tú, ya entendí. Ya entendí.
30 más 60 divided by
Claro.
0.
Sí.
All right, guys. Well, I'll keep an eye on this for guys. I know with 9:30. I am holding still some drawdown here. I mean, they're very, very small entries because this is pushing up. Based on rules and stuff, the drawdown is in pips if steep, but the multiplication in dollars is not that steep for me at this current time because of the tester entries that I have. But um, I did put one more final position right here at this 23%. And if this one doesn't hold, um, just I personally will take the loss. My worst entry is at 3102. However, though,
E.
if we get back to 38%, based on how the price looks, I may close them all, and I could go back and close out and save the play. But yeah, I mean, I got three entries, guys. 3102, 3109, and then just now at 3126. And if this 23% line holds, I think we can go lower. Okay. So on this one, Andy, because remember I always talk about we want to enter and immediately go in
Oh, the
profit.
sales or buy?
Yeah, from 23% I sold again. Okay. So because I have few in drawdown, right? I don't feel, yes, 3,100. I don't feel so much control of it, right? That I mean, I personally would like for this thing to go all the way back down, right, to the area that we had in mind from earlier. But yeah, because I didn't get the entries to turn in the area that I like, I don't feel 100% control of it. So it could be just to where like the three entries that I have, once I'm at break even or minimize the drawdown that I'm in now, I'll just close and recoup. But that this section here, this 23% is it's going to be a determining factor for it. Okay, as we mentioned, that 23% always comes in pretty clutch. Okay, and let's see if it does behave like that support and resistance that we're looking for. All right, guys. So all right, we'll wrap it up here. I'll be vigilant on this setup, and I'll keep an eye on it. Went a lot higher than I thought for the pullback, but that's how it goes sometimes. And keep an eye on the chat, guys. Keep an eye on the chat on the 23% adjustments if I come back and 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 see it going higher. So we'll close it out from here. I appreciate you guys being here, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Back tomorrow. Thank you guys.
Thank you, G Money. Thank you, Jim.
Gracias.
Thanks. You talk to there.